we're gonna make some smoked pork belly with a super simple but delicious spicy glaze. So the smoking portion of the pork belly is gonna be tomorrow. Today is gonna be getting that glaze ready and getting the pork belly ready. But we're gonna get that glaze done first. And I said it's super simple because we're not making a barbecue sauce. It's just a glaze with ingredients mixed together in a bowl. First up, I've got 13 ounces of Apricot Preserves. You can choose any sort of preserves you like in this. We're also gonna add 12 ounces of honey. Now this next one for the heat component is something you could totally leave out, and you may not be able to get this exact same thing that I have. So what I would do is add 2 tablespoons of your favorite hot sauce if you don't have this. What I've got here is a raspberry Scotch Bonnet jam, 2.5 ounces, a little tiny jar. We're also gonna add about a tablespoon of crushed garlic, maybe a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, about a tablespoon of spicy brown mustard, and about a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. And we mix. This is gonna take a little bit of time here because these components are very thick. I'm gonna switch to a whisk in a minute here. Just wanna get this initial blending done with a spoon. You could do peach preserves with this. You could do raspberry preserves with this. Really up to you. To our whisk. You could also throw this in a blender if you wanted to. I like the chunky nature of the preserves. Let's get a little taste here. That got a little bit of a kick. That's okay with me. When it goes on the pork belly, it's gonna mellow a little bit, but wow, that is great. Sweet and heat together. All right, this is going into a container in the refrigerator, and we're gonna move on to seasoning up our pork belly. So in my bowl here, I have about 4.5 pounds of skinless pork belly that's been kind of cut into these 6-inch strips. And the rub I'm going to be using today is Texas style from Sharp Woodshed. We're just going to get a good coating on everybody, toss everybody around in here. Now I want to get these on a rack where they can dry out a little bit in the refrigerator overnight. I'm gonna go fat side up here, and hopefully I can fit everybody. This is gonna be a tight fit today. Now, Sharp Woodshed is actually where I get my wood. They make great rubs too. And they gave me some wood to try out on this cook tomorrow that I haven't used before. It's pistachio wood. Does anyone else out there use pistachio for smoking? I haven't yet. If you have, leave a note in the comments. Let me know what you used it for and if you like it. All right, this is gonna go in the refrigerator overnight, like I said. It's just gonna kind of absorb all those flavors. And tomorrow we are gonna smoke it up out on the Hunsaker Vortex drum smoker. All right, the Hunsaker Vortex smoker is up to temp. My target today is 250 degrees. Now, this smoker loves 275. So I'm gonna have to adjust the vents a bit, but I want that little bit lower temperature for this pork belly today. As you saw, I added water in a foil pan there on a rack below the main rack. You can actually have 5 racks in this cooker if you want to. I've never used more than 2. I also added pistachio wood, which I think I mentioned I got from my wood supplier, and I'll put a link to them in the video description. So let's go ahead and get our pork belly on. And I'm gonna go fat side up. All right, we're gonna get this closed up, get smoking, and we'll come back in an hour. Probably need to give it a spritz at that time, and I'll just be using plain water. See you back here in about an hour. All right, we are at the 1 hour mark. I did get the temp dialed in, holding really nicely at 250. Let's go ahead and take a look at our pork belly and see if we need a spritz. Oh, and also, this pistachio wood smells really good. It's the first time I've ever used it. I'm really curious what the taste is going to be, any flavor that's added, but it smelled great. Gotta say, that's looking really good, and I'm not seeing any need right now to spritz, so we're going to close it up, keep going, and we'll come back in another hour. See you back here in about an hour. It's a wonderful springy day here at 2 hours. We got birds chirping. This is smelling so good. I don't think anything on the grill smells better than pork belly when it's cooking. It's just hands down amazing. Let's take a look, see if we need to spritz, and see how we're doing. That color is really developing nicely. Still has a good amount of moisture. I'm not going to spritz right now. We do have our water pan in it providing moisture, so it's looking good so far. I want to do a quick temp check, see how we're doing. See, our temp is, yeah, man, we're at 197. These are smaller pieces of pork belly. They're moving quickly, so let's get our glaze on there so they can finish up. And I'm just going to kind of gently brush and drizzle some of this glaze on the top and the sides. These are going to be good. All right, I'm going to get this closed up, and I'm going to let these go for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, because they're basically done at this point. We just want to get that glaze on there and let it set a little bit. See you back here in about 30 minutes. All right, we've been going about 30 minutes with our glaze. Let's open this up, take a look, and I do want to probe for tenderness. I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine after that temp in the 190s, and it was feeling pretty tender. Oh, wow, those look gorgeous. Quick little tenderness probe here. Yeah, that's butter. All right, these are coming off. They're going in a foil pan for about 20 minutes or so, covered with foil, just to sort of rest and relax. Then we will have a taste. Now, these turned out just looking gorgeous, so I want to give them a nice little plating here before I pick one to slice into and have a taste. These are just beautiful. Yeah, let's give them 2 rows here. Our own little pork belly pyramid. I'm gonna decide which one to get here. There was a really good looking one at the bottom, I think. Where was it? Oh, it's right here, this nice thick one. Oof, that is nice and hot. Oh, look at that. Now, I could have done these like traditional burnt ends where they're going to be chopped into smaller pieces, but I really wanted this sort of, I don't know, longer slab. And that's the way they came. I just trimmed those in half so they were, instead of 12 inches long, they were 6 inches. And let's get a taste of this end piece. There are a lot of opinions on what the best Bite In BBQ is. My opinion changes over time. At this very moment, this is the best Bite In BBQ. Pork belly is just so rich. It's decadent. The flavor it brings to the table without having to think about the other things. The rub, the glaze, it on its own is terrific, but when you add those things, and that pistachio wood, I've got to say, I like it. There's a distinct flavor here that I don't remember when doing pork belly, say in hickory and things like that. It's really nice. It's subtle, but it's definitely smoky. I'm really liking it. You can use pork belly like this in so many things. Sandwiches, pho, just so many different dishes. But you can also just do what I'm doing here, slice it up on the board, and enjoy it.